the official colors,
Yes.
labor colors. I'm sure from here you'll be heading straight to where the celebrations are going to be taking place.
Yes, definitely. Today is a day of workers because this actually we are commemorating a day that workers actually fought for so that they can remove themselves from the chains of exploitation from the employers because during the Industrial Revolution period, where employers and industry actually concentrated so much on production so that they can make more profits. And the workers were working for more than 24 hours. And so that means you can work for 2 days non-stop. So the workers actually complained and went on a major strike in the US, and that's when now it was addressed that from 1st of May, workers will not be working for more than 8 hours. So definitely, these are some of the things that even we're talking about in the media. I believe that we in the media also we should be able to respect some of these rights so that people are also working for not more than 8 hours. People are properly remunerated. People are paid allowances just like other workers in other industries. So definitely those are some of the things that as a union we are trying also to push for, so that as advocates of human rights and respect to the law, we should also advocate this for our own good, because we are also workers just like other professionals.
Like other people. All right, Victor Buren, of course, just to give a general background of what Labor Day is all about before we come and concentrate on the media space that we are in. It's generally a day where workers are recognized, but also the reason why it's a big day for unions is because it's the day where unions will push for the rights of their workers, just like Victor has mentioned, Eric has mentioned, for the remuneration to ensure that they're working in safe spaces and all that. And maybe just your opening remarks on that before we get into the media space.
Obviously, a good day. I mean, that we set aside a day, we review, relook, and analyze the situation of where we have come from and where we need to go. It also provides room for people to compare, like the story in Standard, how different cadres of workers are relating and how living conditions are moving in a country. While it's a day that has been celebrated in a big way, I mean globally, but sometimes you find that the benefits of the day in terms of the workers, it comes so gradually that we're dealing with a very, very hardened employer. I mean that rarely, while you'll see even the representation, the normal cut and paste speeches, the normal things we listen to, the normal things we hear.
You can almost predict what is going to be said
to be said. I mean, already, and what will come. Even the little that is announced there is never implemented, is rarely implemented. But as Eric says, we need to relook and value this day, because lessons learned are showing that we can't continue doing things routine way. The way we did things, we dealt with workers in 30 years ago, 20 years ago, cannot be the same way if we are going to compete in the current world. Even in our own media industry, the environment has changed so a big way that if employers want to deal with when you joined some years ago and today, then they will not get the best out of you.
The space has changed.
Yeah, I mean, so I think we need to give it more. Maybe, like Eric says, we need to also, I mean, at the unions, we need to start having maybe researches that then relate. What are we telling people? I mean, new things, these economics, these new realities that come, so that when we are talking about 1%, 10% increment, why are unions asking for this?
All right, and Eric, coming now to the newsrooms and media. Of course, we do know that most employers do not would prefer not to have their employees under a union for obvious reasons. But is there a general uptake? Do you find, like in the media houses and journalists are joining unions for their benefit?
Yes, yeah, that is true. I know there are some media houses where we've got 90%, or actually there is one that actually 100% covered by the union, where all employees are members of the union, and it makes it easier for us to negotiate for a collective bargaining agreement that actually definitely covers their terms and conditions of service. And I know there are some other media houses where journalists and the workers there want to join the union, but there's a lot of resistance from the employer, because the employers will always want to exploit the workers. But once workers are covered by the union, it means that when we sign that recognition agreement, we make sure that these conditions of service actually are improved every year, and most employers wouldn't want that. So yes, I can see there's a lot of interest from most journalists actually to be members of the union, only that there's a lot of resistance from their employers.
Yes. Which is expected. Victor, your advice to journalists when it comes to joining unions, because sometimes it seems or feels like when one is within a union, they probably would be pushing for rights that the employer may not want. And sometimes the employers are not very comfortable with that.
Which is very wrong. I mean, and we have talked to colleagues. There's no way media houses would continue talking about exploitation, human rights in other sectors, and the media sector is the worst violator of human rights. You know, we must make the media business and the media profession also respect other. So the issue of allowing employers to belong to unions is even a constitutional right. So the better they realize that allowing journalists and employers to belong to unions, whatever, the better for them, because then it also helps them in dealing and putting demands through the unions that, okay, our members are unionized and this is what we demand from them. But if they are not there, it also becomes even difficult for the media houses themselves. So the better they allow journalists to belong, because a number of them are using very archaic tactics, making you an editor or a managerial thing so that you don't belong. But if you look at your pay slip and your other responsibilities, principally, it's a different language. I mean, which is not fair. We must now move to honesty and sincerity in dealing with employers and colleagues.
Because if you are talking about press freedom, there can be no press freedom if employees who are supposed to be championing for press freedom are actually oppressed and they're not free themselves. And if you are not free, if you're not free from economic situation, then there is no way you will also be free in your work. And therefore, like we said 2 years ago, that we still have employees here who are